And then one day I was like, oh shit, 60,000. Okay. Then I looked in like a couple hours later, it was at 100K. I was like, what the is happening? Then I was like, oh shit,
it's going.
Gone viral.
It's going. What's up, guys? Today's guest is a professional photographer and videographer who even shot Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's wedding and is most often credited as being the first person to cinematically capture tricking. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Dustin Shepard.
Oh,
what is up? And for those that may not recognize the full name, we got El Dente in the house.
El Dente.
Yes, one of the fixtures of tricking for the last decade, which is kind of crazy to think about, man.
Yeah.
Pretty
cool.
I was like, yo, we got to have you on because you can't have like a tricking podcast without including all aspects of tricking, man. And
sure.
You've definitely been there for as long as White Lotus has been around.
Yeah. Good old White Lotus.
It's crazy. So, yo, real quick, though, I got to ask before we get into it.
Okay.
El Dente. What is the meaning?
There's no meaning to it. It was just more of those, like, I was a kid and I thought it sounded cool. I don't remember how I came across saying El Dente. It might have been mixed in with Dragon Ball Z with Dente. There's a character named Dente. And I remember saying El Dente, not knowing that El Diente is like tooth or dento.
Totally.
Then in Italian, Al Dente for authentic. And mine's just some ignorant shit. That's it.
No way.
El Dente.
El Dente. And you just stuck with it.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy, dog. How long have you had that username for? At least before I met you. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely before you met me. Man. I probably came up with El Dente in 2003, maybe.
Damn, you're that old? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We got some guests on the show that weren't even born in 2003. We've had Shosei, Zen.
Yeah, those are babies.
They're literally just turned like 16, bro. Like, it's crazy. I got like T-shirts that are 16 years old, bro. You know?
Yeah. Age.
It's
I feel
crazy.
old.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, no, I'm glad to have you come through. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And man, for those that don't know, one of the reasons why Dustin is such like a pivotal figure within the tricking community and the tricking world is for a long time, samplers have always existed in our sport. You know, all the way back to the buyling.com days we always reference to Tricks Tutorial Forum and all that.
Yeah.
But for a longest time, they were all basically just shot and edited by the person who was in them or maybe a homie that did it. What Dustin did that helped separate and bring tricking to a whole new era was shooting tricking, one, with the DSLR camera, and two, the edits that you did were not just normal sequential edits, you know, and it wasn't always showing the trick in its entirety. It was more cinematic shots, more beautiful shots, different framing. So my question to you is before we even talk about the tricking stuff, how long had you been shooting and capturing stuff before you came and met us?
So that's what's wild about it. I hadn't been.
That's
like
the craziest.
Tricking was pretty much like where I learned how to shoot.
Yes.
Like I didn't show interest in film. It wasn't like I was like known like, oh, Dustin wants to be a photographer when he grows up. It was just something I thought about, like walking home to school and shit, like visualizations of like my favorite songs and seeing scenes to it. And I had seen all those old ass tricking videos. I can't even remember how I came across like a niche shirt for White Lotus. I mean, I was just on the internet like everyone else, like, oh, this is a cool ass video. And I showed my dad, I was like, damn, this motherfucker just did a backflip off of one leg.
Exactly.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I did notice, like, even before I was even into video, I realized, like, I wasn't thinking about, oh, this is an old ass camera. Like, I didn't think about that. It wasn't until I got into cameras, I was like, oh yeah, what about those triggers? Oh shit, let me check on them. White Lotus, that's new.
Yeah.
Northridge, that's in California.
Yeah.
I got a nice ass camera. I should film this shit.
Totally. And at the time, I think you were rocking the Canon 7D.
Yep, first camera, Canon 7D.
I remember just over time there was like an accumulation of gear, and then it was even like lenses, getting the Zeiss lenses.
The Zeiss. Tokina was the first wide lens I had.
Yeah. The 11 to 16 or what?
Sold it to you.
Me too.
You still have it?
I still got it in the kit somewhere. I don't use it as much, but I still got it. That's so funny, dog. So yeah, man. So basically, long story short, I guess, and we can kind of split sharing this story.
Yeah.
But essentially, I had opened a gym known as White Lotus, which predates Jam.
Yeah.
And when I first opened the gym, like we've kind of told on this a few times before with like Anish Sherfa, no one was going to the gym. There was like 5 of us at open gym a night.
Yeah.
Anish Sherfa, Danny Graham, you know, Aaron Tony's there.
Yeah.
You had like a lot of the regulars. And then one day, what did you send me a message ahead of time? I think you reached out and we connected.
Yeah, I think I reached out and I was like, hey, can me and my boy Richie come through?
That's
and
it, Richie.
Yeah, I was like, we got some new DSLR cameras and want to capture this shit.
And for those people that don't know the difference between a DSLR and the normal cameras, it's because nowadays almost everything is shot on a DSLR or your iPhone.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, like a DSLR camera, what made it different was that they were actually cameras made for photography more so. But because of that, the sensors were just so much better.
Yeah.
And you can mess around with depth of field. You could swap lenses out.
Yep, because before with the byline videos and shit like that, it was just the OG handy cams.
Flat.
And like at the time, to get that depth of field, you have to get like a camera, like what was it called? A Canon XH-A1, and then get this fucking big ass glass filter thing. Yeah. Then you can put lenses on it. So the DSLRs 7D came through like, yeah, we already have lenses. Just press record now.
That's crazy, man. And so for those that don't know, like DSLRs, like the common ones nowadays that you're probably hearing is like Canon 7D, 5D, or you can even talk about like the Sony A7S, you know?
The A7 series.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. So Dustin was literally one of the first ones that had one of those amongst anybody that we knew. And so he came to the gym one night, and you and your buddy Richie, you guys shot a video. And I remember I even pulled up the Facebook message, bro, from 2010. And you literally were like, hey, yo, here's the video from last night. And I'm like,
that's right, I did it that night.
And you're like, yo, check it out. We got some more coming. And I'm like, no way. That is crazy, man. Hey, yo, Armand, can you try to pull up that first video? See what's the first one. That should be it, too. Let's see. Is this the? Yep. This is it. And it's just called White Lotus Gym. How many views I got, bro? What's the date on that?
Well, on my upload, it only has like 6,000, 7,000. But when you upload, that's when it exploded. Yeah, which is good.
Yes. And what date does it say? January 8th, 2010.
A solid 10 years ago.
Wow, bro. And who's in this video so far? There's Jake Wong. He's one of the co-owners of Jam. Ryan Houchin from Team Tempest. Back in the day. McLovin. Who's that?
Cheesy.
Kyle Cordova in the house. I saw Tyler Santos.
Yeah, Tyler Santos.
Wow. I'm not even in this video. That's what's crazy. I didn't even trick in this
King
one.
is in it too.
Yeah, King
David. A little parkour in this bitch.
Anish Sherfa, Steve Terada.
And like a lot of people,
and here's the moment everyone remembers. Gargoyle. And if you know, you know. That's it. Gargoyle.
But like, see, a lot of people were like, not a lot of people, but for the most part, some people were like, oh, we can't see the full trip. Yeah. But to me, I was just like, you don't need to. Like, you know what it looks like. For me, I wanted to show the world how beautiful this sport is. Like, and these little moments that I'm seeing, just like the extension of certain kicks, like I just want people to see that moment.
Just to start.
Just like, like it's just magical.
Yeah, 100. I think what was different too was just everything it was like you said, you had the framing. You didn't show completed moves necessarily. You did a lot of like cool shots where you're like, you know, over the shoulder of some other guys while you're tracking through, and then you see the trick.
But there's some shit that people don't know about this that I didn't realize till later.
Like what?
Like I said, I didn't know shit about filming.
Yeah,
like,
you were just shooting.
I was just shooting, right? So some of you guys that edit yourself will learn that if you open up a timeline that is like a 720p timeline, whatever, the resolution, but your footage is 1080p.
Oh, you didn't switch it.
It's cropped in.
You got to convert.
So almost all this shit, a lot of shit that almost a lot of my videos for the past, like the first like 2 years or maybe even 3 years, my shit's not scaled. I would always wonder why the fuck I see it wide here, but when I put it in Premiere, it's not as wide anymore. Dude. I don't get it. So then I learned about scale to frame.
Dude,
so there's a lot of shit like that. Like I didn't know about fucking shutter speed.
Yeah.
I didn't know about aperture. I was just like, I roll the camera this way.
It looks bright.
Yeah, it looks brighter, it gets darker. Like, so I didn't fucking know. Like I just knew that, oh, this song slaps. This shot is dope. it should be a good video, but like the technical aspects of shooting, I didn't know shit.
Dude, I'm dying over that you didn't know to change the timeline sequence.
No, dude, look at all my videos. They're all exported at 720.
Yes.
When we clearly could have did 1080. I was clearly shooting 1080 sometimes, but I didn't.
Were you shooting at 60 frames for most of those, or were you shooting at 30, 24, and you didn't even know?
I never do 30.
Okay. Yeah, me too. 24 or 60.
24, 60. 30 for TV show, but for the most part, I did a lot of 60 frames.
Okay, so that's how you could do the slow-mo.
There's so much I didn't know back then about like doing slow motion and just.
I'm crying over that, dude, because nowadays, like let's say for example on modern day Premiere, if you drag something in, it'll say, "Hey, do you want to match the sequence settings or change it?"
People didn't know, I guess. Yeah, I didn't fucking know. I was clueless, and people were asking me like
for advice.
For advice. I don't fucking know.
And the craziest thing about it is that, like, I would say the craziest thing about that video was one, that it took off in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
People were blown away at the quality. They were like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. We've never seen anything this crispy.
Yeah.
At the same time, it got a lot of hate in a lot of ways too, because it had never been seen before. We talked about where you weren't completing a combo, and tricking everyone used to shoot it and see the start, and they're like, "What's it gonna end with?" You were just throwing in like single tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where did you like draw inspiration from, or were you just trying to match the musicality of the song, like you said?
I was trying to match the musicality, but I also knew that you didn't need to see the whole thing, and I guess I probably based off a lot of my shit from seeing like intros to animes. Like you don't see the
You're right. Quick
it's
cuts.
like trailers to movies, like the same thing. It was just, but it excites people to want to see it more. What is tricking? So people see that video and maybe they're like, oh, I should check out this White Lotus place. This is fucking insane. Dang. Then they get to see the fucking full trick.
They get to see it. Yo, that is hilarious, man. I'm still dying over that it took like a 3-year learning curve. But you're right. Honestly, a lot of us, like even myself in stunts, I didn't go to film school. So everything I learned has been the school of YouTube and trial and error. Yeah. You know, and like that's the only way through.
Yeah. That's why I was always worried about like answering people's messages. I was like, I was ignorant. I didn't fucking know.
No way.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. And so long story short, that video came out, got a lot of hype and stuff. And then shortly thereafter, you pretty much just became like a regular at Jam.
Yeah.
Like not only were you there filming us all the time, you started learning how to throw tricks yourself, hurt yourself a few times, went back to filming. Went back to filming again.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. And then I'd say the next major video that hit and popped, would be the White Lotus 2010 sampler. Yo, Mondo, pull up the next one and see if that's on the list. And I think the thing that's unique about this one was this is when Danny Graham got introduced to the Lotus family. And it starts with Danny Graham.
And this shit is not scaled to frame at all. And because there's people that complain, yo, it's too close. I can't see it. Well, this is why. I didn't fucking know that I was supposed to scale it.
So it wasn't even a fully artistic choice? It's half just the crop.
Yes, a lot of it wasn't like an artistic choice. It was just I didn't fucking know better.
Do you still have the raws of them?
Fuck no. Sometimes I wish I had raws so I could like do like a throwback.
Play around,
yeah, but I don't.
Damn, that is crazy, man.
And so, I use the Teriyaki Boys to this fucking video.
Son.
Yeah, slap.
Dude, that's the thing that's so funny about it is that like that's how you know it's an iconic video and a sampler, because like you just said it and I remembered, oh, Ichi-ni-san. You know what I'm saying? Or on the first one, Gargoyle.
It all has something.
It has like a thing that resonates within you that it sticks. And like, and here's the thing, not to bash anyone within the culture and the community at this current time, but we talk about a lot where we say that things look the same. It's not always just the way the tricks are performed. It's also the way it's presented to the people. A lot of the samplers look the same.
Yeah.
This still looks different in 2010 compared to a sampler in 2020.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of the videos people are putting out.
Yeah.
And it's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's so wild. Is there a video that you were most proud of before you made the full realization and understanding of your skill set? Because I think there's a clear switch when that happened.
Yeah.
But like, is there a video from the beginning ones that you were most proud of or you stuck out?
That I was most proud of? It would probably have to be the not so pretty one, the example one. The Venice Beach Not So Pretty by example, because that was what opened the door to doing Kickstarts.
That was the that was the one that was out on the grass.
Yeah. No. No, that's the They're Not Paranoid video on Venice Beach. This
one
one didn't even have tricking. So are you talking about my tricking video?
No, I was just curious about which one, but I think I remember which one you're talking about now.
Yeah, it was the Not So Pretty. That was by example, and it was just me and Richie. And once again, I still learning then, but it was just us shooting people in Santa Monica and Venice Beach. And you know, Richie was the person that introduced me to dubstep.
Yes.
And that's, you know, people know me for dubstep videos back then.
Dubstep Shepard.
Yeah, so I threw that on the video, but my mom had commented on it, and she was like, there's something about the way you capture people. And like, she was just saying how what you do, you can feel it. And so then I was like, damn, maybe I am good at this shit. So, you know what I mean? And so that's what really opened the door, was that video. Like,
and what's kind of crazy is you kind of mentioned it from off the back end of that. That's the one where you guys got the chance to do the music video.
Yeah, for Kickstarts.
For Kickstarts, yeah, which is crazy. I don't have that on the list. Armand, maybe try to pull it up on YouTube. So how did you get contacted to do that video?
Fucking YouTube. Example straight up hit me up on
he just sent you an email?
Yeah, like a comment actually, or an email, and he was just like, yo, I love this shit. My record label loves it. We want to do a music video with you with a new song of mine's. Are you down? But what's wild is the money was garbage.
Of course.
You know, they gave us $1,500
for the whole thing.
They were like, we want parkour, we want tricking, we want fighting, and whatever cool stuff you can think of. And knowing how much, like, we had Aaron Tony, Rich King,
Anish Shurfa,
your Jim. You're not in the video, but you let us rehearse there. And when I found out, like, SAG rate and how much all you fuckers should have made, like, that should have been an easy $100K just for stunts.
Oh, 100%. A 1,500, they got to steal.
They had to steal.
Yo, type in example kickstart.
Yeah, example kickstarts.
Yeah. And that's what's so crazy about it, is for anyone that's ever seen this video to hear the backstory of it, that you guys had a $1,500 budget is like absolutely stupid. To some kids, that's a lot of money for a video.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
For a music video, just for reference for the kids out there listening.
But it's the Bar 9 remix.
Yeah,
one.
Type in Bar 9 remix.
Yeah.
A SAG stunt rate for one performer right now, guys, is $1,005 for the day. So you would have been able to afford 1.5 people.
Yeah. And we had everybody that was like, we had Brian, the Lee brothers, Andy and Brian.
And Anise is the star of the video, which is even crazier, guys. Like Anise in an acting debut.
Fucking.
Even with true cameo of the ex-girlfriend at the time. Mindy. She's in Mindy Kelly in the mix.
Dude. We shot this in my apartment, my little shitty ass apartment.
It's so crazy to look back on, but like to see it now, like it's like, dude, this is pretty amazing. All things considered, for $1,500 on a 70. Did you know how crop ratio back here too, or no?
By this point, Richie was helping me, so that was
the timeline was better. Man, it's so crazy. And now obviously this one's less focused on the tricking and more focused on the fight scene aspect of it. But again, like it's still just cool that someone like gave you full authority to just like run with a concept. You know?
It was fucking
dope. Crazy. So how long did it take you guys to shoot this, and how long did it take you to edit and get it out?
I think it took us 2 actual shooting days, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Because there was a couple locations.
Yeah, and it didn't take too long to edit. And sorry to Richie, I was kind of like lazy on the edit. But we made it happen, and like it blew up. Like it did so well. Like I still have the screenshot on my Facebook. Like it was like #1.
Yeah.
Here it was back when YouTube would show you how cracking your shit is.
Totally, bro.
And we was fucking hit the charts.
It's got what, 11 million views, right?
On like, 2 different channels. So it's 11 million here, then like 10 million on another channel.
That's insane.
So like 20 million and some change.
Just for a little video shot with the homies, man.
And I've only done so many music videos after this. Like it wasn't like I was like trying to do
music videos.
I just did whatever came my way pretty much.
It's so funny to look back on, man. But it really just shows like a couple of different things. One, it shows none of us were working, clearly, because we're willing to do this no one was for free.
That was what's beautiful about, like, all this shit is so nostalgic of all the time we spent together.
Yeah,
now
man.
everyone has fucking families.
Yeah.
You're fucking busy. Anise, all them. Everybody's fucking working now.
It's a different world.
I think a different world.
You even mentioned, like, on your way over here, like, full transparency, we shoot at a studio in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
And what's funny is 10 years ago, everyone lived in North Hollywood.
Yep.
We're talking, there was 4 to a 2-bedroom apartment. There was one apartment complex that was on the back of XMA.
Yep, that was the spot.
I think at one point it had everyone. There was Anise was there, Danny, Matt Emick, Sammy V, Jeremy, Guy De Silva.
It was amazing. It was fun.
Those were the times, man, where literally it was like everyone lived within a couple minutes of each other.
Yeah.
And life consisted of wake up, eat, go to train at White Lotus.
Yep.
And then go home or do little shoots like this.
Yeah, maybe get a audition.
Maybe, yeah.
The early IMDb list days.
Dude, it's crazy to think about. Honestly, when I look back on a video like this, what's cool is that we have this to live on film forever. But like, what's even cooler is to think like, I mean, it's sad at the same time, but what's cool is like, it'd be damn near impossible to get the amount of people in this video collectively in one room at one time.
We had everybody. Kane, Solomon.
Yes.
Like we had the fact, Rich, I haven't worked with Rich King, but this video,
really?
He's insane. He knew we didn't have no fucking money and he was just so hype and about it. He's like, bro, I can take the car, fucking fishtail it. We'll all run out. I was like, dude, we don't have a fucking permit. This is Jefferson. This is like a legit boulevard. Like, we get this shit shut down. In this fight scene, the cops showed up because they thought we were really fucking somebody up.
And what'd they do? They let you go?
Yeah, they let us go.
Wow, dude, I just saw a young Andy Lee.
Yeah.
That was crazy to see. Young Andy Lee in the mix, man. But yeah, it's just so cool that like, A, everyone was so hungry back then.
Yeah.
And B, everyone's accomplished so much now that it's like, it's almost difficult to get us all together. You know?
I had my first like scare on like how serious these shoots can be when you don't have like insurance or anything. Chris Jai, Alex, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
He's
been on a JAMCast.
Yeah, he was in the video. He was supposed to be who Danny is, I think. He got fucking punched in the mouth.
I heard about that, and it went through his tooth, right?
Yeah, dude.
I remember the story. It went through his tooth.
I felt so bad, but I'm glad to see it didn't fuck your career up. You is killing it.
Well, to be fair, he's a voice actor predominantly, so
shit, maybe
don't gotta be on camera.
Yeah.
He's mostly just on the mic, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it was us that made
Who
him.
punched him? You don't remember, or you do? You don't want to blast him?
I know.
Who punched him?
I'm not gonna blast him.
They're way better now. We know that this was a long time ago.
Anise.
He's gonna be so mad at you. He's gonna be so mad at you, dog. I may have to cut this, bro. I may have to edit that out.
Edit it out. Edit it out.
He's gonna be so upset at you for putting that out. But nah, Papa, we love you, Anise. Everyone's so much better now. This was like pre 8711, pre everything.
Pre everything.
Man, that is so funny to think about, dog. Yeah. That's amazing. And so for those that don't know, like back then we used to have open gyms in the morning, 10 a.m. to 2, and then 8:30 to 11. You pretty much always came to the night sessions.
Yep.
Just because you lived like a significant distance too.
And I was working at Trader Joe's too.
I was just gonna bring that up, dog. I remember the day job. It's so crazy. And then you would just come and then shoot at night and stuff like that. But what was cool was that you started by doing samplers of sessions, which really took off and not only like put tricking on the map, but it also inspired a lot of other people to be like, I need to step my game up. So much so that not only were people trying to replicate it and they couldn't do it as well, but it actually turned to another facet of your videos where people were like, dude, why don't I just highlight myself like this?
Yeah.
And so before long, you started doing individual samplers. Some were demo reels, some were just like a little tricking sampler for people.
Yeah.
And it was cool because you ran through basically the laundry list of people in LA. You did one for almost everybody.
Yeah.
It's insane. I think the one that stands out the most though, and try to find this on the list, Armand, is a little video known as La Cienega Nights. Ooh, right?
Still there too.
I just remember, dude, everything. So I even just remember this, the run up and point.
I need some.
There it is. There it is. Like, bro, like these videos hit so hard that I can literally like remember what happens, like frame by frame.
Yep.
What happens in this? Yep. Arabian half. Yep. And so when you guys shot this one, what inspired you to get out there and do this? Because this was really taking tricking out of the gym, showing it in a more gritty, urban, and obviously concrete jungle. You know, what inspired you to get out here, and how'd you convince Anise to do this?
I'm not even sure if I remember whose idea it was, if it was my idea or just Anise wanted to go out and shoot some shit. And I was just like, fuck it. There's a spot on La Cienega. That's just an empty ass parking lot.
Wow.
Danny was there. My boy Christian was there at the time, and they were just sitting in the. Kyle was there. He like walks by with a dog or something.
That's him. Yeah. In the beginning, yep.
But we just
with the young boo-boo.
we just wanted to shoot stuff, man. Like it was just like, let's trick outside. But my whole thing about tricking was kind of what you wanted to do and what you did do. What Bailey Payne being like the first Red Bull athlete is like, I wanted the world to see tricking. So I was like, whenever we went on like a gathering like in Florida for Hurricane Jam or anything like that, I was always like pushing, hey motherfucker, do a Webster, like to show these people some shit because no one sees it. Yes. And now what's crazy is what I wanted to happen back then is kind of now happening. Maybe within the beginning of last year with like it blowing up on Instagram and like ESPN sharing people like that's what I wanted back then. You know what I mean? Like that's why I was like, yo, do some fucking trips, bro. Show the people. Let's go to Venice Beach. Let's have a fucking session at Venice Beach. Yes. So people can see how amazing this sport is.
Totally. And you got full-fledged into it, dog. Like that's why I think you became such a regular at White Lotus and also just like a fixture amongst like our circle of friends was that like we could really see the commitment to it. Yeah. We've been approached by tons of people saying like, let me shoot y'all. But all they do is they get their one video and then they're out. Yeah. Like, they didn't give a shit. But like you literally were coming to open gyms all the time. Yeah. You even started traveling. I know you went to Florida for Hurricane. You were there you went to US Open one year. Yep. You also flew Philadelphia. Yep. Man, are there any other gatherings that you went to, or are those pretty much the majority of them? But what's crazy
the hardcore parkour one in Vegas.
HKPK in Vegas, yeah. And what's crazy is that like you were just going as a videographer. Yep. Like a lot of other people, they pay the money and make the trek because they want to go trick with their favorite trickers. Yeah. They want to land something they've never landed. And you were just going with the intention of just like filming, highlighting our sport, and just trying to put it out there.
Yeah. And obviously there was a moment when I stepped away from it because I wanted to also show that I could do more than film just tricking. I was like, I should try to film other things too. So that's why I slowly stopped filming tricking. Yes. One, because once everyone started working, I got no one to film.
Everyone's busy.
Everyone's busy. And I can't make money off that.
Yes.
And so I was like, all right, I want to show that I can do more than just tricking videos too.
Totally. And so you started another series. It was called People Doing People Things. Yes. And that spanned over the course of a few years. You like, took a break and came back.
Yeah. It was, go for it.
Oh no, I was going to say, and so like, do you remember what your first People Doing People Things was?
Yeah, it was actually just filming my homegirl and her friend like in their backyard, jumping on the trampoline, just doing shit. It started out as a way to celebrate buying my Mark III. I was like, all right, for a week, I'm going to shoot every day. And on that day, I also have to edit the video and put it out. So it was like shoot that day, complete it that day. Okay. So that's all it was just filming people doing things.
Crazy. And for those who don't know what he's referencing, Mark III is a Canon 5D Mark III, which is at the time was the best camera on the market for a DSLR. It was full frame, so you didn't have the auto crop on the sensor as well. But yeah, man, that is wild. And then I remember like People Doing People Things started expanding to like Venice Beach videos where you got guys on the rings, you started capturing skating and all kinds of things like that. And it really just started to showcase like, oh, okay, like you said, you can do a lot more than just the tricks, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I got to ask you though, this one's obviously related to tricking, but I think your most viral video, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be totally wrong, but this is the one that stands out in my mind, is Nikki Stanley. Yeah. Kicks on Fire.
Kicks on Fire.
What, 11 million?
11 million. I low-key hate that video, not because I hate Kiki or anything.
No, just the way you did it, right?
Because I know why it blew up now, but I see it, like, I've grown so much from that. Like, when I look at my old videos, I just see it, damn, I could do this way better now. You feel me? That's what I see. And I was like, damn, this shit blew up. Not that it's shitty. It's just like, I know I'm so much better now. And sometimes I'm like, man, I should hit up Kiki. We should run it back and do something way better.
But you never know if it'll pop the same.
It probably won't pop the same.
Yeah.
It won't. But like,
it wouldn't.
It was fun. Like I said, I was just shooting, learning.
It's crazy.
It blew up though, and it didn't blow up at first. It didn't go viral for like 8 months.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was sitting at like a cool 30,000, and then one day I was like, oh shit, 60,000. Okay. Then I looked in like a couple hours later, it was like 100K. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Then I was like, oh shit.
It's going.
Gone viral.
It's going.
I'm kind of a somebody.
It's happened.
It happened.
Damn, that is crazy. How long did it take you guys to film that? Because obviously you're like at outdoor locations. You're at White Lotus in a few of them and stuff like that. Was it like a couple days or
I think it was maybe 2 days most.
Okay.
If any, it could have been a 1 day thing, but I think 2 days at the most. I don't remember.
That is crazy, dog. And so at that point, though, you had the 5D, so obviously the
No,
gear.
that's 70.
That's 70 still?
That's
wow.
70.
So 5D is people doing people things.
5D didn't come out until 2012, I got it, maybe.
Say.
2013, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then at what point do you make the switch from DSLR to the big boy red camera?
The big boy red. That was hilarious how that happened. That was like the most stressful day of my life.
Explain.
It was like my biggest job. So a lot of people don't know this, but besides working at Trader Joe's, I was at Trader Joe's from 2008 to 2010. Mm-hmm. I didn't get into camera stuff until 2009, like the end of it. And I told people I'm gonna buy a camera, and people at work were like, "You're stupid. That's a lot of money. Why would you do that?" Anyways, I stuck with it. Met you guys, kept going with it, met so many people at Trader Joe's. I'm not where I'm at if it wasn't for Trader Joe's. I worked at the one on 3rd and La Brea.
Oh,
so,
popping
with directors, producers, and I never talked about the groceries. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, so what do you do, sir? They're like, oh, I'm a fucking producer. I do this. I'm a photographer. I'm like, well, I got a camera. I have a 7D. Can I come by? And, and they're like, yeah, I guess. And so I met a lot of big-ass people that way. And one of the persons I met was a guy named David Quartermarch.
Okay.
And so he set me up with a random ass gig, bro, filming a Saudi prince vacation house get built. Like just
construction. I remember when you started delving into that.
It was a $17 million house that went through like $50 million worth of work. Wow. And so for years I was filming that.
I remember that. You would stop by a couple times a week.
Yeah, I was just like, this is wild, whatever. I love it. And so I had got a big Jordan gig with my friends filming a high school in Portland.
Yes.
Yeah. So I had my friend take over the house job. And so I was in Portland for about 6 months, pretty much. I think maybe 3 to 4 months, actually. And like I've never made that much money before. And I had saved up $10,000 already on my own. Okay. And after the completion of the Jordan gig, I had like 12 Gs. Yeah. So it was 30 days of actual filming work, I guess. And I had made that much money. And I was like, I have like $20,000 right now. What the fuck do I do? No. Like for like at least 24 hours, probably exactly. I was like, I should buy a Red Epic.
No way.
But if most people don't know, like all you can buy with 20 G's at that point is just the brain.
The body.
No lens, no fucking memory card slot, no batteries.
Just the block, baby.
Just the block.
The block.
And my friends was like, don't do it. I was like, maybe. I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to do it. And then I had 20 G's for less than a day. Bought the Red Epic. Couldn't use it, but I was so happy. I was like, well, I've started with a 7D. I got a Mark III. What's next? A cinema camera.
Totally.
So I bought a cinema camera.
Damn, that is crazy. So how long did it take you to start accumulating gear? Did you start renting stuff, or how'd you even start shooting without anything?
Well, after the Jordan gig, I still couldn't use the Red. It was just sitting there, but I still had the house job. Yeah. So every check from that, I was like buying some shit.
Buy a lens.
Yeah, not even buy a lens, the lens mount. Yeah. So I can put a lens on the
battery.
Camera.
Yeah.
Batteries. No, I actually bought a pack of batteries first before I had it operating the monitor. Like it was just piece by piece by piece.
And all in, how much do you think that entire setup cost, body and full kit?
Like 33.
Wow.
$33K.
$33,000 on equipment. Invest in your future, kids.
Yeah.
You got to invest in yourself sometimes. That is crazy, man. And so with the Red camera, what was the reasoning behind wanting to switch to a cinematic camera away from DSLR?
Dynamic range. So you can kind of always tell when something is shot on a DSLR, especially with rolling shutter. Yep. You can kind of get away with it if you shoot at like a higher aperture on the DSLR and like on a shoulder mount, like keep it nice and smooth and flowy. You can be like, is this a cinema camera? I don't fucking know. But when you have like a cinema camera, it's just,
smooth. It also opened up the ability for you to shoot at way higher frame rates, which allows for way more slow motion.
Yeah, way more slow motion.
Because Canon 5D Mark III only went up to 60 frames a second.
Yep.
What did the Red allow for?
Red will actually allow you to go to 300, but at shit resolution at like 1K.
Okay.
But at 5K full res, you can do 95 frames on the Red Epic.
Wow.
And I didn't upgrade it to the Dragon. Like right after I got it, they started talking about the Dragon. I was
Of course.
I just got this camera. What the fuck? Then the Raven and the weapon, the helium. That it just doesn't stop.
Damn. So you still have the same one?
Yeah, I'm
same
good.
kit.
They were trying to get me to upgrade for years.
Oh yeah,
emails like real emails.
The emails I seen them, bro.
Not even spam emails. Like these are real fucking people. Like, hey, we really think you should upgrade. I'm like, why the fuck should I upgrade? It's a fucking beautiful ass camera. I don't upgrade Windows until they force it on me. Like I'm Gucci.
That is crazy, man. And so you kind of alluded to it right there where you went to Portland and started to do that professional job, and the house job was your first major one. At what point did you really start to think like, okay, I got a career out of this now? You know, like at what point did that happen?
That happened in 2000. That happened at 2010 when I quit Trader Joe's.
Really?
Yeah, so it happened early. It was just like I started calling in sick because I kept getting little gigs. I was like, well, I'm making $300 for the day for a couple hours just shooting this shit. I'm gonna be at Trader Joe's for fucking 9 hours and make like $100-something bucks. Fuck that. So
said no.
And I got called in and they're like, Dustin, if you call in sick again, we're gonna have to fire you. And we know you like to do your shooting and stuff, but you gotta, choose. And then I put my 2 weeks in. I was like, well, I'm not gonna get fired. I was like, fuck it, let's just go full send on the freelance. And at first it was good, and then it was like, woo. But I lived with my dad, so I didn't have to pay rent, so I was Gucci. He supported that, so he didn't pay my bills, but I didn't have to pay rent, so I was good. Yeah.
That is wild, man. And so like over the course of your career, like we kind of talked about it, you've shot stuff from individual demo reels to shooting construction, building of sites, other sports and things like that. What is your favorite thing to capture? Because I know you also have delved into weddings, behind the scenes and things like that.
Oh, man, my favorite thing.
And why?
I think just my favorite thing, the stuff, I guess the film is anytime I get to tell a story.
Okay.
Because that's one of the best parts about life is being able to tell a story, hear stories, and read stories and leave one behind for others. Anytime I get to do something like that, like I do want to do more narrative stuff, but I like that kind of stuff. Weddings, I actually hate filming weddings, but
that's what most people say. But the money's there. And it's consistent.
Not even the money there, because when people hit me up for a wedding, it's family and friends, so I don't get that real wedding bread. It's the hookup. But yeah, just anytime I get to tell like a dope story.
That's cool. And now with that being said, though, I do know that you did get to do one very cool wedding, and like a super big scale one. Oof. How did you get connected with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? And I guess his wife is who you first started shooting with before that.
Yeah. So, like I said, YouTube and just filming that Venice Beach video, the rings and all that. Yeah. A guy who's one of my good homies, Glenn McGowan, shout outs. He approached me just about working, just like shooting stuff. He discovered I lived in LA, and so we connected, and we did a bunch of basketball videos. You've probably seen the people doing people things, or Buckets Academy. And so he was actually friends with Lauren before she was with Dwayne, I believe.
Nice.
And so she had saw that I had been doing some basketball stuff with Buckets, and she reached out to him and was like, "Oh, we like this video that you're doing." And they have that show Ballers.
Yes.
And I guess
I've seen every episode.
I'm sorry. I've actually never seen the episode. I got to watch it.
Everyone.
Sorry, Lauren. Sorry, Dwayne. But she reached out to him. Like, we have this song about basketball, and it's called Go Hard. And we want you to do something about it. Like, make something for us with this song. And so Glenn hit me up like, yo, got a chance to work with my friend Lauren Hashin. He's like, I'm not trying to, like, put her out there like that, but, she's with Dwayne. And I was like, The Rock. I was like, what the fuck? Because you guys work with Dwayne and all that. Totally. And like, you guys inspire me so much. Like, I'm always trying to like stay like
in
you
the
guys
circle.
Like you guys push me, right?
Totally.
And so I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm still kind of connected with my friends. And so it was really cool to me. And then she's the homie. Like, I love working with Lauren.
She's tagged you tons of times.
Yeah, she tags me. Like, we work all the time. And so then she hit me up. Like, she was so sneaky about it too. Like she's like, Dustin, send me some of your romantic stuff. I was like, oh, okay. And so next thing I know, I was on a fucking flight to Hawaii for the first time, and I was like, this is tight.
And you got to, I think one other person captured with you, or no? Am I wrong on that? Is it just you?
It was just me, but he already has his photographer, Cruz, Brandon.
That's who I've seen tagged online.
Yeah, and then Liam Underwood. I think you met him maybe before on something, but I met him through Richie. But he didn't know I was coming on that gig either. We haven't seen each other in years. I only met Liam fucking once, but we knew each other.
Yeah.
And so I showed up, and he was like, oh, shit, Dustin? I was like, yeah, dude. And so we ran into each other on this big-ass job. But, yeah, it was just wild.
That's crazy. And how long were you out there for?
I think I was there for 3 days. The wedding was on a Sunday, I think, and I got there on a Friday.
Okay.
And left Monday.
Dope, dude.
Yeah.
And that, I mean,
I totally bounced from work from that shit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, too. And, like, I would almost feel like a huge sense of pressure because of who it is and the importance of that date in someone's life. I was
so high. I was like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. I'm gonna make Lauren happy. Like, yeah, it was dope.
That's crazy.
And it was cool because, I mean, I don't really talk about Dwayne like that with her like that because like it's kind of weird. Yeah, like she's my friend. I'm not friends with The Rock. You feel me? Like he's awesome. Like I would love to have what I have with her, with him more, like both of them to work together. But like I grew up watching Dwayne, you know what I mean? So it was just weird how just picking up a camera led me to this life. Like when I was filming the Saudi Prince's house, I was walking past Eddie Murphy's house every fucking day. Like I love Eddie Murphy. Like, totally. And I'm just some random ass black kid on a fucking 150cc scooter. I didn't have no fucking money. I'm riding up to the richest place in LA. Some kid from the hood. No one fucking knows. No one knows where I'm fucking going. Totally. On a blue ass scooter with flames. Just because I picked up a camera. Just because I was like, maybe I could do something with this.
100. It's a good lesson though for people to realize, like, you just gotta go for it if you really want to pursue it. Like, dude, I mean, and this isn't to like talk down upon you, but like, dude, I remember back in the beginning, you didn't even have a cell phone.
No, I didn't have a cell phone.
We had to talk to your ass on Facebook Messenger. I used to get so frustrated sometimes because I'm like, I need to get a hold of you. Call me now or message me now, you know? And like over time, I remember when you first got your phone, you're like, boo-boo, I got a cell phone now. Yeah. And that was a huge step, man.
Yeah.
Huge step.
Yeah, Richie made me get a phone because of Kickstarts. He's like, I got to be able to contact you and blah, blah, blah. I was 23, I think, when I got my first phone. Yep. And I had an iPad. I was using that for a phone too.
Yeah, I remember that, dog.
Big ass iPad. I didn't fucking care.
So crazy to look back on, man, and think about all those things, dude. Mm-hmm. So, like, one of the other questions I have, and this is kind of getting away from more the tricky side and more just in like to the artistic form that you do. How do you select the songs that you utilize? Because music and musicality has obviously been something so big that even I remember every song you've used. Yeah. How do you select those songs?
I don't know. I think I've had so many different type of friends growing up, and I've done so many different jobs, and just being surrounded by different environments, I have like a wide taste of music that I like, especially because I was really big into the DDR community. I'm
glad you brought that up.
Yeah, like that's probably going to be something we talk about, but like, for example, the basketball video I did for my friend Glenn, normally basketball videos have like fucking hip hop and shit like that. Like, it's expected to throw a hip hop track on someone that's black playing basketball. I was like, but what if I throw on some indie shit that no one's ever fucking heard, especially in the basketball community? It just hits differently. It feels different. It's like, oh, this is nice. Yeah. Why does basketball have to always be like hip hop and hard and shit? It can be nice. It can be, oh, this was tasteful.
Totally.
I feel something watching this. So I wanted to do something like that. Then with like dubstep, I was like, yeah, Trickin' probably look insane to that, but Trickin' also look amazing to like opera music and just all kind of shit. Music can go. My girlfriend always makes fun of me because I use it wrong all the time. The word is juxtaposition or whatever.
Oh yeah, juxtaposition. Yeah, like, yeah, totally.
I like the opposite.
Yes.
Of things. Like I have like ideas that I see in my head to music. I'm like, oh, this would be awesome. Like totally. I don't know. I love music, and you can do a lot with music. So
do you ever find a song and then think, oh, I need to create a video to this? Or do you already have a video in mind and then find a song for it?
So what I learned, what works for how it happens is I hear the music and then I see things. So I'll hear a song and just visualize it. So that's like in high school, like I said, I didn't show interest in film. Like I obviously loved movies, but I didn't like excel. Like I'm gonna take an acting class or in drama class, like wanna be like, hey, I'll sign up to play this guy. No, I didn't give a fuck. Like I was very just to myself. But when I would walk to school, I'd think about music I'd heard and I'd be like seeing all these action sequences. Like I see it in my head when I hear the music. Then sometimes I'll see something and be like, ooh, this song would be great to that.
Yeah, totally. And now with that being said, along the lines of like how you hear a song and visualize what's going to happen, do you go into a shoot then already having a shot list in your head, or do you show up and you just grab stuff that you think looks beautiful? Like, is there a systematic approach to the things that you're capturing, or do you just try to get a bunch of stuff in the can?
So I've learned that it depends on the gig and the job. So when it's like a serious, like a big music video, okay, we're gonna have a shot list, obviously. Yeah. But when it's like some random like behind the scenes type of thing or an event, like I don't have a shot list. I just need to grab shots. This looks dope. Let's fucking do it. David Quartermarsh used to make fun of me because early on, if you look at a lot of my early videos, people that really fuck with me, you'll see that I used to shoot Dutch as shit.
Tons of times.
I used to just turn the fucking camera like, oh yeah, just fucking turn the camera. I don't do that shit no more. Very rarely. Like sometimes I'll do it, but not as much as before. Like I was experimenting.
Yeah.
But I never really have a shot list. I don't. What I do is edit a video in my mind as I'm shooting.
That makes sense.
Like when I'm on a set,
pre-cutting.
Yeah, I'm already like, ooh, this gonna be cut here. Like I already know. Like I already got the video in my head.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, what's like a turnaround time on a video? Like, are you one of those people that likes to shoot and get straight into the editing process? Do you need to like step away, take a break, come back to it with a fresh eye?
So even though I say I edit it in my head, like some projects I don't get to do that. Like it just doesn't happen. And in reality, when I start a video, it only takes me a day. Like it only takes me 8 hours, 12 hours to finish a video.
Okay.
Like I'll never be like, oh, I gotta stop here and then finish the rest. Like, but sometimes I can't. It's like writer's block. Sometimes I'm like, what song am I gonna fucking use to this?
Yeah.
Everything, like I have like a system, like a flow. Like there's got to be like an intro. There's got to be like a break. Like I have to have these points in my videos, or I'm like, this is whack.
Yeah.
So sometimes I can't get it. Then sometimes I'm like, oh, this is it. And I can't fucking stop. I'm like, this is the one. Like my cousin's wedding video I recently did. It took me a year to give them the video, to like actually a year to start the video. Like I was just like, what song am I gonna use? And then one day it hit me. I was like, ooh, Lizzo. I got this shit.
Wow.
I was like, perfect. I can do it. Bang, 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 done.
That's crazy. And so over time, we talked about like the accumulation of gear and obviously the money behind it. How did you accumulate all of the skills and knowledge? Was it literally just trial and error, or did you start looking stuff up? Like, how'd you start figuring out like color correction and things like that, you know?
There was a time before I got the 7D and a couple years after where I was just constantly on Vimeo. I wasn't on YouTube. I was on Vimeo, just like looking at staff pics. Like, what do people like? What is beautiful?
Dude, the first video you sent me on Facebook Messenger was Vimeo too.
Yeah, like I was just studying. And so I didn't go to school, but I was just doing what I saw pretty much. And like, then I started looking at documentary type stuff. And I was like, I've never done a documentary. And if you look on my YouTube, there's like a couple old videos where I was testing, having B-roll footage and hearing people talk over it. Like,
yes.
So
I know
was
what
like,
you're saying.
I was like experienced, but I was doing things I didn't know. Like, what is it called? When you frame someone on the right, then on the left.
Negative space.
The negative space, the rule of 180.
Yeah.
Like, there was things I was just naturally doing.
1/3, 2/3.
Yeah, like I just didn't know the terms. And I've never really been a camera op on an actual set besides like music video stuff, but like a TV show or anything like that. And I remember once being somewhere, I forget what set, but they're saying terms like, oh, we'll just shoot this shit cowboy. I was like, what the fuck is cowboy? And so I've learned a lot of things by just being around people that knew more than me.
Okay.
And I'm still learning now.
Oh, totally. Even to this day, bro, every day I'm on set, I hear a new term. I'm like, put that in the bank.
Yeah,
remember
that I am like the definition of fake it till you make it.
Totally. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you go in with like an earnest and eager approach to learn, then it's like, oh, you're just learning. You know, it's totally different.
Like I look back on this moment and I'm like, damn, my friend was right. We were shooting. This was another big job. It was another Jordan commercial. It was like I got to work with NFL players, like, and he's a black DP. He's amazing. His name's Bruce Cole.
Okay.
He's dope as fuck. Shoots magical. And I'm young. You know, I've made it this far. I got it red. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I shoot. I'm dope. It don't matter. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm hyped. I'm like excited. I'm like, don't worry about me. I'm going to get content. Like, it's going to be good. And he was just trying to set me up. Knowing what it is now, it would have made shooting better. He was trying to set me up with a matte box so I can use filters, right?
Totally.
And I'm like, I'm just going to crank up the shutter. I'll be fine. I'm only shooting slow motion. But like if I wanted to shoot 24 frames with depth of field, I couldn't. It's too fucking bright. But if I had the fucking filters, I could do that. But I wasn't trying to shoot that day, but I was just so like, no, I don't need it. I'm good. But later in life, I was like, oh, I want to shoot this at 24 frames, but it's too fucking bright to have it at 1.4.
Of course.
Oh, I need a matte box. I need some filters. Oh, that's what fucking Bruce was trying to do. So like things like that, I pissed them off, but like
it came around later.
Yeah, it came around, but I know now. You feel me?
It's hard sometimes. I mean, it's a universal human principle where sometimes it's too hard to take advice until you fully realize it yourself personally. Yeah. It's like telling your homie, like, don't date that girl. Yeah. Like, you got to wait till you're in it and you're like, oh don't date that girl.
Yeah, I fucked up.
That's crazy, bro. Yep. That's funny. And now you kind of... kind of talked about it earlier where you were like obsessed with DDR. You even had a Dance Dance Revolution machine in your house at one point. But one thing I was going to ask you about as well, because I wanted to see if this had any impact upon your filming style, was that I know that you do aggressive inline or rollerblading and stuff like that. Did you ever watch like rollerblading samplers predating your filming? Did that have any effect upon your sampler style? That's one thing I've always wanted to ask.
Maybe, because I did watch rollerblading videos, skate videos, and I already knew. Like I had edited. What really got me into editing was actually video games. Like I was playing like Counter-Strike and making Counter-Strike montages and shit like that. So I already dabbled in editing. I just didn't dabble with a camera. So I already kind of knew like, oh, I love music. I can chop this up. So I already had like an idea of how to edit. I just didn't know how to use a fucking camera. Okay. So I had two good friends in high school that went to like ICF, Inner City Film School. Okay. And so I helped them with a couple projects. So I was kind of surrounded by it a little bit. But even then, I still wasn't like, I'm in a show.
Still learning.
Yeah, I wasn't like saying that I love to shoot. But it just hit me one day because I was just tired of Trader Joe's. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And I was like, what do I like in this life? I was like, well, I like movies and videos. I can't be a pro rollerblader anymore. Them days is gone. So
yeah. And how long were you skating for? Because I still see you throw on. I see still you strap in and go to Venice sometimes.
Yeah. I had been skating since maybe 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually remember learning how to roller skate at the rink for the first time. Not rollerblade, but roller skate. And it took me maybe like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, no. And then I was like, oh, this shit, I got it. I was skating by myself. Then I remember getting rollerblades. I used to just rollerblade by myself. Okay. In like second grade, just around the fucking house in Kansas. Wow. I was there with my grandparents.
That's crazy.
So I just skated. The bulk of my skating was done in Las Vegas, the time I spent there. And then when I moved to LA with my dad, I didn't have like the internet, so I didn't know anybody that skate. Nobody in the hood was really rollerblading. Totally. I rollerbladed once to fucking high school at Dorsey, and niggas was like, what? It's like, you play basketball.
What are you doing? Yeah,
They would call me like, you trying to be white? I was like, no, rollerblading's cool. You know what I mean? I got banged on like my first fucking week at Dorsey. He was like, hey, blood, where you from? I was like, LA. I just moved back from Vegas.
What do you mean? Yeah.
It was weird. So I just fucking stopped skating. But as you see, I throw them on every now and then.
Totally.
I love it.
That's crazy. Have you ever had a bad injury or incident that happened in skating?
I've never broken anything. Got close to fracturing my wrist.
Yeah.
I got more hurt tricking.
Yeah. Oh, I know
My advice to anybody that likes tricking that is like me who isn't a fucking tricker, don't do shit just to do it. Hardcore parkour was in 2012, and my knee has never been the same since.
Really?
Never been the same.
No way.
I'm done.
That's so crazy. What move were you going for?
I did the fucking move, but it was the landing.
Was it the Arabian or what was it?
It was a big ass. You know how I used to do that really stalled cork, that really big cork? I just did that, and that floor was weird. It was bouncy. I didn't stretch. Fucking Dustin Wallace, he was like, Dustin, throw some shit. I was like, all right.
You just went.
Did it.
Damn.
That was it.
Wow.
Never
still
been the same.
8 years later.
8 years later.
Yeah, it's crazy. As we get older, it definitely doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You feel it more.
Just stick to filming. Don't trick if you're not a tricker. But what people don't know is what's really cool about how I met you guys. I would have met you guys anyways, because if I stuck with Taekwondo, like I would have been going to the U.S. Opens and NASCA and shit. Because I remember, like, they had a U.S. Open. This was like 2004 or something. I knew somebody, you or someone, was at this shit in Vegas.
Oh, totally.
So I would have ran into you guys if I stuck with Taekwondo.
Yeah, 04, Steve Tirado was still on the circuit. Yeah, like, everyone was still on it.
I was already like in that path.
Wow.
And so since I stopped, then I picked up cameras. I ended up still meeting you guys. So I would have been in this shit anyways, regardless.
I like to think over time they're like, there's no coincidences in life
there's no
anymore.
coincidences.
I talk about that all the time. Like I knew Steve Tirado when I was a little kid. Fell out of touch for like 8 years. I come back and open a gym, and Steve Tirado is still in LA training at my gym now.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching Anise on samplers back in college being like, this guy's the best. And then randomly a workshop popped up in LA with Anise Sherfa and Jeremy and Kier. And I'm like, I'm going. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later he calls me and I'm like, dude, I'm hanging out with Anise. This is crazy. Like, how is this possible? But I think there's no coincidences. I think like our energy and our past all like brought us to intertwine and cross eventually, It
was so cool to meet Anise. I remember being so happy. Like there were so many videos of him at the time on like YouTube.
Probably the most of anybody back then.
But you didn't hear him speak. I was like, I don't know what this fucking dude sounds like. And so when I met him, I was like, he's real. It's always weird when you see videos of a lot of people and you never hear them talking it. It's like, what the fuck do they sound like? Can he fucking speak? So it was really cool to meet him back then. Little fanboy. It
was crazy. It was just a real experience for all of us, man. But I think what's cool is that like, and it's kind of weird that the way that I'm going to say this and bring this up, but it's like a lot of people die or would die for the opportunity to become a part of our circle. Yeah. Especially to like be on a phone number, first name basis with Anise, Danny Graham, Jeremy. And generally speaking, the way that you get into that is by proving your trick level and your skill set, where they're like, oh, I respect his tricks. He can train with me. Come on, boo-boo. Yeah. But like you were literally one of the few that like broke in with having no tricks.
No tricks.
None.
I put the rollerblades on, then we can talk, but like no tricks. It was definitely weird because I came in at 2010, so I've known everyone for a solid 10 years versus you guys 20 years, 15 years, shit like that. And I was just like, I got a camera. Let me just film you guys. Show the world what you can do.
So crazy, man. So crazy to think about. Honestly, like, we needed us to be at that level of tricking, and we needed you to be that level of videography because, like, without him, who knows? Like, if you didn't hit me up and come that one day to White Lotus, who knows who would have been the first person to use a DSLR and finally like push tricking samples,
It would have been someone, maybe. I don't know. We never know.
We never know.
All I know is it was me. No, joking.
That's the craziest part about it, man.
And now it's just on the cell phone.
Yes. That's the craziest thing, dog. It's like, even I use my cell phone for things sometimes now. And I'm like, damn, why do I have all this gear?
But like, it's weird because I was like, I had thought, I'm learning to not care about my shit being seen and knowing that I am good. And I'm always growing. But I had thought like, ooh, like I'm going to go to Japan. Let me stop by Tundra. Let me film these guys. They'll be stoked. I don't think Shosei and Zen really knew who I was.
I was going to ask that.
Not that I was like some big guy. I think their coach knew who I was. But like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make this like a nice sampler of Shosei and Zen. No one, like, it's all cell phone shit. People should be stoked. No one gave a fuck. That shit's sitting at like a look.
It's like, got like what, couple thousand views?
Yeah, a couple thousand views. No one cared. Yeah. And that's fine. But it was weird. It's so different the way people trick now too. Like, like I said, I was a part of your guys' crew. So the session, just playing music, having fun, tricking. It's different. They don't do that. No. They don't. They hit one move. They sit, watch. They literally run to their phone, check it out. All right, do it again. Like, there's no just trick.
We noticed that when Danny Graham got the first chance to session with the Japanese boys here in LA. Yeah, he noticed that too, and everyone was like wondering, like, are they just intimidated to like train around us? Yeah. But then I started watching, like, no, that's just their training. That's their training. Yeah. They have the ability to look at their stuff in slow motion now, which we didn't have before. Yeah. So it's like, why even waste my time? I'm just gonna trick and then I'll wait for Dustin to send a video.
But I don't like it. Like, I can straight up say I don't fucking like it. Like,
the vibe's different.
The vibe is different. Like, I would love to, but I can't say that they're not having fun. Like, it's just a different culture. Yeah. Like, I see them, they had fun, they were laughing and stuff. But I would much rather see them just put the camera down, let me film it, and just fucking trick, just have fun, train, and you can see it later. Like, just
that's how our sessions definitely used to be. That's why you have all these samplers where there's like 9-10 people in them. Yeah. Is because everyone's just going. Yeah. Everyone's like, I'm not waiting, I'm going. Yeah. And if Jeremy's in line, he's going 2 times as many times.
But now it's getting more complicated. I'm not sure if I was talking shit, but now people are like, they want to see the tricking videos sampler or not exported at 60 frames.
Really?
So, yeah, that was like a big deal. Like, I'm not sure if it was Towels. It was somebody, but
they don't want the 24.
Yeah, no more 24. Yeah. They want it exported at 60. And that's me and you and everyone else that's into the industry. That's weird. Like, 24. We don't want to watch a fucking video at 60 frames. The Hobbit, everybody was pissed when that came out at the high frame rate. They want to be able to tell that it was actually a triple court.
And they want the smoothness. And they also want to be able to scrub through frames.
Yeah, scrub it. But I wasn't making videos for people to study my shit like that.
Yes. 100%.
So it's just different.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's just stylistic. It's just like tricking. You can have your own style, shooting, have your own style.
There was only one other person, a couple other people whose videos I really liked, but if there was anyone I can choose,
I was gonna ask this. So great segue.
Ott's videos.
Yes.
I forgive me for forgetting his name. I thought it was Matthias who made his videos. Maybe I got it right. I don't fucking know, but the person that made his videos, it was just a different style from mine, and you got to see the whole trick, but it still felt like something.
It was elevated.
It was elevated. It was beautiful. Just watching Ott trick, no crazy cuts, a beautiful fucking track, and you just
watch and
in
enjoy.
the zone, just watching them trick.
Yeah, no, Ott's one of my favorites to still watch a sampler all the way through. It's hard for me to get through a lot of samplers these days, just because they're long. It seems a little repetitive. Yeah. So you got to make me feel something.
Yeah, I can't stand when I can tell they're trying to like do like some hardcore dubstep on the shit, and it just doesn't slap. It's not really cut to the music. I'm like, I'm over it. I don't really watch samplers anymore. Yeah, I just watch the clips on IG.
Everything's changed. Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. Even in parkour, like a lot of people are wondering if like parkour is dying on YouTube. Yeah, and it's not because there's less practitioners. There's more people that practice it now. But everything switched from long form content to short form Instagram or TikTok videos, where you can just put a move. Yep. Get 100,000 people viewing it, and you're like, oh, why do I got to put 45 things in one video? Let me just do one.
Yeah, because I remember my first free running parkour video with Corey DeMyers. Then
who eventually became a Red Bull world champion and a member of Team Tempest.
Yep. Yeah. It's dope what this sport and movement has taken me for sure. I got to get my fundamentals basically with camera work.
It's pretty crazy. You essentially like almost learned on the job, for lack of a better term. Yeah. You know, a lot of other times you like go to school or you you accumulate a skill set and then you're like, now I'm ready. Yeah. Let me go do this.
Yeah. And because of that, my resume is fat. Yes. With different type of shit.
Yes. And that happened to me in stunts too. Like I got thrown into the lion's den that there would be times I'm on set and they're like, hey, have you done this before? I'm like, yeah. And I'm up there like, holy shit, I've never done this before. What am I about to die? Like,
It's crazy when you're in that moment. You're like, oh, fuck.
Learn on the job, baby.
I gotta deliver.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what advice would you have for someone that's like maybe, very beginner entry level trying to get into film, what would you suggest for them to do as far as learning how to film and edit? And what equipment would you suggest as a starter kit?
Okay. Well, when I started making videos, in reality, I had like a really shitty point and shoot camera. Like it only did 15 frames. I'm talking about that old Digicam.
Sony Handycams and stuff like that.
Not even a Handycam, just like a straight up point and shoot, but you can record video. And yeah, I just filmed what I loved. I just filmed what I liked. So whatever it is that you like and think about all the time, film that. And obviously take note of your friends that are actually interested. If you know people that are actually dope at something that you're not, film that. Like, see what they're doing. And then just try shit. Like, you've already seen trailers for movies. You know what type of music works. Slap that shit on there and just play. Just cut. A lot of people ask me what DSLRs to get. I'm like, you can get just like a nice point and shoot. You can just use your cell phone, but shooting on the iPhone is actually weird. Editing on Premiere on Windows, it's kind of a fucked up codec.
No, it's messed up on Mac too.
Oh really?
There's a lot of times where
it goes
like
off sync and shit.
Yeah, no, it's really messed up. I don't know. They have like an internal codec that gives people
weird.
problems. Yeah,
it's not good. But my advice is just really reflect on something that you daydream about. Like, what is it? Something that you just fucking stare at the wall and think about. And I hope it's nothing gnarly, but fucking film that shit. But maybe some things in your mind you shouldn't film. But for the most part, I think anyone watching this video has a positive mind. So yeah, don't overthink it. Just, I don't know. I've never seen a really cool pool video, like billiards.
Yeah, you're right.
There probably is one out there.
I've seen tons of trick shots, but it's just the same as old school tricking. It's just flat camera.
Yeah, just find stories too. People love documentaries. People love little narrative things. Yeah, just there's a lot of interesting people out there.
Crazy. Is there like a piece of advice or something that stands out in your mind as like, damn, I really wish that I wouldn't have wasted my time on that, or I wish I would have learned that lesson a long time ago?
Yeah. Well, it's not even a lesson, but it kind of is. When your friends try to help you, sometimes you don't realize it. And like, I kick myself in the ass sometimes because I did want to do like film a lot of the previs and stunts and shit like that. And like, I could have been deep in 8711, but I didn't realize that till later because Danny and Anise hit me up to film this one fight scene. And I didn't really think about it. Like, I like slacked off on it. I was like, okay. Like, to me, I was just like, I don't know. I was like, whatever. I just didn't do it. Then years later, I was doing a couple pre-vises again, but I was like, damn, if I stuck with doing that,
you'd be super good at it.
I'd not even just super good at that. I would still be around the people I liked being around more. So I would be like traveling with you guys' work and doing pre-vis and stuff. But luckily, I met Stephen Ho, and I did get to do some of that stuff. But that was one of the things I was like, fuck. That's like one of my biggest like fuck moments in terms of like shooting. I don't have too many, but that was one of them. I was like, damn, I could have been like fucking traveling and maybe doing this shit with them. But that was it. Just really think about when your friends ask you to help them with some stuff. It can open more doors for sure.
Yeah, it's a good lesson. And even in retrospect in my life too, like a lot of people, I ask them that question, like, I have no regrets. I have so many regrets in my life, dog. So many. And a lot of it leads back to taking opportunities that I either overlooked or thought I was too busy for, or was like, nah, there's no money in that.
Yeah, I would definitely overlook that shit. I overlooked the fuck out of it. So like, damn, I overlooked that. Yeah. But I just still stuck with what I was doing, and I'm still doing good.
Okay, you're still in it, though.
Yeah, I'm still in it.
You're still in it. Okay. And now let me ask you this, like in regards to the future, are you more focused, like, and I only ask this because on your Instagram page, for example, when I first met you, it was strictly videos on YouTube. Yeah. Your Instagram page now is a lot of photography, a lot of still images, a lot of black and whites, a lot of portraits. Have you split your time between photography and videography, or you still find yourself leaning more towards one or the other?
Well, in terms of the future, the end goal will always be like feature films. Like I've always wanted to make movies. Since I started doing this, it was just that thing that seems so far away, but it seems like it's getting closer and closer. Yeah. But the reason why I got into photography, not that it's that I like it more than video. What time is it actually?
Right now? 2:20.
Oh shit. I have a work meeting.
At what time?
At 2:30.
Oh, snap. We'll wrap it up.
It's not so much that, what was I going to say? Yeah. It's not so much that I like photography more than video. It's more so what has happened in my life. You know what I mean? Like my dad was murdered. He was killed. And so you have to be an adult. So I had to get like a job after all the life insurance money is gone. So I have a full-time job now at a video game company. So photography is something quick and easy, and I still get to capture things, and I still get to pick up my camera every now and then. Like, it's easier for me to be like, hey, bro, let me take a picture of you. Let me take a picture. It's cool. Boom, it's done, it's out. But I don't have that much time to do video these days, even though that's my focus. Okay. I work at this video game company, and I don't really get to, I'm doing my craft, but not like I want to. Yeah, not fully, you know what I mean? And so photography is just something I can do easier than video at the moment. But video is still what I love. Like film, that's what I want. Like I just put out a random video of my friend that's black. Yes. I just wanted to put out something beautiful of a black person. And like I shot that on my Red first time in a long ass time. My Red just sits in a fucking closet. I don't really rent it. And I was like, yo, let's shoot this really quick. Did it in 20 minutes. Found a beautiful trap. Boop, boop, done. So damn. Like I don't have time to do video as much, but photography is it's just easy. It's quicker. Yes. But film, I did just get into shooting film, and I love it. Like my girlfriend's mom is a photographer, and she gave me like a film camera. She gave me a bunch of old film, and like she was just putting me on game about film, and I'm like, why am I so late getting into this?
Yeah,
like,
totally, dog.
And people do say things are like genetic, and my grandpa was a photographer. He probably won't ever say he was. He had like a Super 8 camera, so I have all this vintage film I'm getting digitized. He has a film camera, like a Minolta. Like he loved taking pictures, so maybe I got it from him. Yes. So it wasn't just like a coincidence. You feel me?
Yeah, no, totally.
But
like we said earlier, there's no
I'll honestly, I don't really call myself a photographer either. I just, like I say, I make videos and take dope pictures every now and then. Totally. But I guess I am a photographer. I struggle with saying that I'm an artist, but like I'm sensitive like an artist, I guess. Like it's just weird. I never thought I'd be an artist, like based off my life. Like it's just something that happened. Crazy,
dog. And so I always end on this question right here, and you may have an answer, you may not, but where do you see yourself 5 years from now, and where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
5 years from now, I would hope I had put out a movie that actually, or put out something where the world finally got to see who I really am. Like, as of right now, just the tricking community kind of knows that I'm, like, talented, but, like, the world, like, I'm not amazing, but I do know I have some beautiful shit, and I can make some dope stuff. I hope in 5 years I am someone that will be remembered beyond just like tricking stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want to do something dope.
Okay. And what about 10?
10 years?
Or is it too far?
I don't know, man. It's crazy being black. I could be dead, and it scares my girlfriend. Crazy, my dad was killed.
I know, it's crazy.
So 10 years, that puts me at 40 something. I can't even imagine. I tell my girl that I struggle thinking about the future that far.
So do I, dude. Like I do too.
I just hope that I have a house by then, maybe 2 kids, and maybe, I don't know, 2 good movies out that got above a 7 on IMDb.
Hell yeah, dog. Well, yo, I know that if those come out, I'll be there, dog. I'll be there watching, bro. And more than anything, man, just on behalf of myself, thank you for everything you've done for the tricking community. Also for my gyms personally. Like, White Lotus would not have taken off if it wasn't for these videos. Yeah. So, like, outside of everything, I really appreciate your friendship and your contributions to the sport, dog.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Amazing, I love it, man.
So, yo, before we get out of here, just look in that camera and let people know where they can follow you.
All right. My name's Dustin. People call me El Dente. And you can find me on Instagram.com/El Dente. My YouTube is youtube.com/El Dente. And I also stream on Twitch every now and then at twitch.tv/DubstepShepard.
Hell yes. And as always, guys, please be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week. Join us every Monday for Jam Breakdowns and every Friday for brand new JAMCasts with influential members of the movement community like Mr. Dustin Shepard himself. So, guys, I got to give a very special shout out to Mr. Armand Robinal for running the cameras and the switcher out today. Got to give a special shout out to our guest this week, Mr. Dustin Shepard. And as always, guys, coming at you, coming through, I'm your host, Travis Wong.
Coming at you, coming through.
Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. And until next time, we'll see y'all soon. Peace.